For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel
right, live from Studio 6B, 8 o'clock. On Monday, December 9th, a brand new week. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do some news. Paul Nolan sitting next to me as well. Going to do some news as well. He's got some thoughts on what is going on in the world. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Glad you're in, everybody, on a Monday. Good to be with you on a new week. Lots to talk about tonight. There is a lot in the news. But obviously, I want to start where I think most of you are aware, because the outpouring on social media over the last 24 hours has been almost undescribable. And I have not talked to Slick today. Only a quick text about what the arrangements are. But for those of you maybe tuning in who do not know, Slick's father passed away on Saturday night around 6:30 p.m. He texts me, and he texts everybody on the show.
Yep.
And he said, let the audience know maybe tonight. And so I put something out, I don't know, around 10:30 on Saturday night. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but Slick's probably got 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 comments to go through between X and Facebook if he wants to read all of the just beautiful things that so many of you have reached out and said and written and prayed for. And I'm sure if he hasn't already, he certainly will start to look at all of that. So I just want to tell Slick that obviously we're thinking about him. Our thoughts are with him, his family, his mother, his extended family, all the things I'm sure they're all going through over these last 24 hours. And obviously trying to do what you do in these situations. I know he has let me know the services I think are going to be a little later on this week, Thursday and Friday. So we're going to try to work those out. But I just want to thank the audience. Well, first of all, tell him, obviously, that we're thinking about him and his family and everybody. And we're praying for him and for his father. And I want to thank you, the audience, because I've gone through a lot of the comments. And they're just, the prayers are beautiful, the statements are beautiful, the thoughts, everything. So beautiful on all platforms. I just want to thank everybody because our friend will need it in the coming weeks. And we want him to remember that he's surrounded here by support as he moves to a new chapter. Losing a parent, now your life is never the same. Totally different. Yep. Right, Paul?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. So,
I guess this is a good reminder. Call your mom. She's with you. Call her. Call your dad. Just say I love you. Say hi. Thank them for the things they've done.
Yeah.
Don't miss the opportunity if they're still with. Anybody who lost a parent could probably say right now, I wish I would have called them a little bit more.
Well, I think no matter how many times you've called, you can always say that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Delgado, how are you?
I'm good. Again, we got the news yesterday afternoon. I had been texting with Slick earlier in the day, so it was kind of expected when he sent the group text out.
Oh, you had been?
Yeah, because it's like
he didn't sound optimistic on Friday night. Obviously,
he didn't sound optimistic on Friday night. Sunday morning, he sounded even less optimistic.
But I have to say, a few months ago when the father went through this, he didn't sound optimistic then either. And
and his dad rallied.
He rallied and pulled through and came out the other side and was, as he said, when this all happened again, he was getting his haircut, so he was out there living life again.
Yeah, I guess he was out on his own, driving around, getting his haircut. So he was living life. But you can never tell when these things are going to happen. You just don't know when that time is going to come, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You asked me today about how things were at work when we spoke, because my boss died last Thursday.
Yes.
Out of the blue.
How old
was he? He was only 49.
Oof. Sorry to hear that.
Horrific car wreck on the expressway.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, again,
in the news, actually.
You just don't know when these things or what age or anything like that. So you have to appreciate, the time that you have, the people around you, and make sure that they know that you appreciate.
Yeah. So we're thinking of our buddy. We're lifting him up as much as we can. He did text me today. And he's like, "All right, so maybe I'll be in on Wednesday." I said, Slick, why don't you take the week off and let's reconvene maybe next week. And we'll see you Thursday and Friday or whatever we can do. And then how about you just relax?
Well, you know what?
And don't worry about this.
In his defense, that's a defense mechanism for a lot of people. They need to stay busy. They need to keep their mind off of it because if they don't, it'll make things worse.
Without a doubt. That's me to a T. When trauma hits, I got to go extra.
Right. It's like all of a sudden I'm working late.
Yeah.
Doing
don't leave me
stuff.
alone with my thoughts.
Right. Because that's where
no good comes from that.
yeah, and you get depressed. And Slick is not one. You've seen him walk around. You see how he dresses.
No, he's
that's
a
not
peacock.
a depressing guy.
No, he's a peacock.
No.
Right.
Not at all. So.
Yeah.
Well,
I love the guy, and he's
the best.
His heart is just as big as you guys. His heart's as big as you imagine, and the shtick you see, it's not a shtick. That's just him every minute of every day.
Yeah.
He's just such a good dude. Such a good dude.
Yeah, so we're thinking about.
He's the only reason I came back. I missed him. It wasn't you guys.
No, we know that. Of course. We know. Aaron, why are you laughing?
By the way, we got a pipe of laughing. It's too good.
We know that. So, well, hope everybody had a good weekend.
Oh my! I don't even want to talk about my picks. Oh my goodness.
Well,
oh my goodness!
Aaron,
I apologize to the audience. I'm sorry.
Aaron, jump really on here. Slick's not going to be here, obviously. So let's recap.
Thought I did.
What happened on the odds makers as Rick Delgado and Kevin Downey Jr. represented the audience this weekend?
I actually have no clue how they did. So Rick should tell us how.
We don't know
how he did.
Oh. I know my two picks.
We're losers. Yes.
SMU. Can you at least take care of the ball in the first minute?
Now, that was obvious.
Oh.
Yes.
But they did rally. And then when they came back and it looked like they were going overtime, I'm like, I could still pull this out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the damn field goal.
No. Aaron, how did you do?
I went 2-2 this weekend.
Okay. So
and Slick went 2-2 this weekend as well.
Okay. And these guys went 0-4, I'm assuming?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Let me see.
Well, you went 0-2, and Kevin was picking.
Well, Kevin lost the Raiders game. I know that.
He went 0-2 too. So you guys went 0-4 for the audience. So. Yeah, well, you actually fit in right with what the audience has pretty much been doing all year.
You're not the only one. So.
Yeah, you're not the only one. So don't.
And that's why Vegas is so shiny.
Yes, those old hotels are going up on people just like Rick Delgado and KDJ.
Yeah, they're taking down perfectly good hotels to put bigger ones in their place. There's a pattern here, guys.
Exactly.
And that is why I don't bet.
Okay, that's a good idea. Stay
Though
away
I thought I had some good picks.
Yeah, well, that's how they suck in.
That's kind of the point.
I think we know that feeling.
You ever seen a guy walk away with a brand new ticket after he put the money down on something? He's always shy. I got the winners here, baby. Don't come out.
Nobody walks into Gamblers Anonymous on a winning streak.
Yeah, exactly right. That's usually the feeling, boy. You feel good going in.
Oh, yeah.
Not so good coming out.
It was a responsible wager.
It's like eating White Castle. It feels real good going in.
Oh, yeah. Especially at 2 in the morning.
They don't feel too good coming out.
So the audience is 16-34 right now. I'm 39-30. And
Nice.
Slick is 33-36.
Very respectable.
I mean, 9 games above 500 against the spread, which is the key part there, Aaron, is very good.
Thank you.
And your analysis is
spot on.
Thank you.
Spot on. So
much better from last season.
Yes, you're much more comfortable. You're much more thorough. You know your football. You've got do your homework, and
yes,
sound like you should be like I said, going up against somebody on I don't know. Put you up against Eric Coleman. Eric Coleman's doing some betting show. Sabrina Coleman's husband, former safety for the New York Jets, Atlanta Falcons, and I think Detroit Lions. He's doing a betting show, gives analysis.
Oh, yeah?
I think your analysis I put up right up next against his.
I'll give him a call.
Yeah, we'll call him. So, well, what's the big news of the day? Daniel Penn. I mean, how many? I sat here and said I hold hope out for this jury, didn't I?
Yeah.
Many times I said I hold hope out for this jury because no matter how wacky your politics are, when you're living in New York and you're riding the subway and you're on the subway and you're waiting in the stations and it's just a little different. It's just different.
A little.
And I said I held out hope that these people would see this for what it was. Prosecution did a terrible job on top of that. That was an added bonus. And then the judge tried to pull a fast one, and I couldn't be happier to see them stick it in the judge's face today for what he tried to do here. And so give me the top line here, Delgado, on this.
Right. Manhattan jury found Daniel Penny not guilty of criminal negligence, homicide on Monday, earlier today, in the death of Jordan Neely on a New York City subway. Penny also previously faced a more serious second-degree manslaughter charge, but Judge Maxwell Wiley dismissed it Friday at the request of prosecutors after jurors twice told the court they could not come to a verdict on the count. Penny, 26, a former Marine, would have faced up to 4 years in prison for criminally negligent homicide conviction and up to 15 years for the manslaughter conviction. There was applause in the courtroom as the not guilty verdict was read aloud. Penny locked eyes with members of the jury that acquitted him, nodding thanks. A smile was visible on his face as well. But leave it to the protesters out front, like the losers from BLM, who only show up every few years when they're trying to
when the bank account's low.
Yeah, when the bank account's running low and they're having trouble buying more mansions.
Yeah, the mansion business is only good when the hate is up. So
right.
I shared a clip with you of someone on some thug on the court steps there yelling for vigilantism. So if you want to clip it, it's laughable. I think I sent it to your text as well. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on the court steps and make a cry for violence.
Right.
To
this
attack
is
people.
cut number 2. This is BLM's Hawk Newsom. I think that's the thug you're talking about there.
I thought it was just what I saw. Yeah.
You say Hawk Tua?
Yeah.
No, not Hawk Tua. No.
Here he is with a little statement. I think he's trying to make George Floyd 2 happen. It's not going to happen. Here's cut number 2.
We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Oh, it's aggression.
I'm tired.
Then go home. Take a nap.
At first, I just thought he was upset about Soto signing with the Mets with his Yankee hat on there. But it was really we're calling for vigilantes. First, those vigilantes are usually fighting crime illegally, of course, but it's fighting crime. The guy was a convicted criminal. There's 42 counts against him. His family kicked him out because he was so dangerous.
Right.
And he's living on a subway. Now they all miss him. Now they all want to sue.
Yeah. Now the father's like, I miss my son. Yeah, you didn't miss him that much. Kick his ass out.
All right, just getting started on a Monday. More on the Daniel Penny. Obviously more on, who we're being told is the key witness or the key the murderer in this United Healthcare. I don't know what would be. Been hanging around Delgado too long.
I was about to say, wow.
We're back right after this. Catches up, but didn't catch up.
Are we live in the chat?
We are live in the chat.
We're live in the chat.
Chat. What's going on, chat?
Attempt to get into the chat using a borrowed computer since I can't. See what I can do. Oh, I can do it on my phone. Stupid.
You got to give me one of those fancy doohickeys you got holding up your phone. No, I got a phone.
Oh, this you get on Amazon.
Oh, you get everything on Amazon, but I won't give them my business out of principle.
Then you ain't gonna get a fun little phone thing.
Yeah, it's a true story. And I'm lying. Amazon, we just said Amazon, I just got an alert.
Did you really just get an alert?
The second we said...
that's so funny.
What, your package arrived?
Yeah. Stuff on my wish list. 27-year-old Norwegian girl? That? How come Amazon doesn't sell that?
How's that for? Where's that for sale?
Come on.
Big D,
that
thank
can't
Aaron for the decorations. Yes, Aaron. Very nice.
Aaron, great job on the Christmas decorations. And it wasn't me that knocked down the tree. It was the gigantic wind.
It was you.
That follows Damon when he walks.
No, it was definitely you. We
It
all
wasn't
saw
me.
it.
I was sitting
There's
here.
cameras in here. You
I
realize
was
that?
sitting here. Yes.
Hello?
I do.
Well, it was one.
Damon, beautiful memorial message. Thank you.
Howdy, Rumblers. In the
Studio
chat.
looks very nice. Good job, Aaron, says Kimberly on Facebook.
Sergeant Arby's in there. Giggle Georgie. Is that, or Gigi Georgie? Gigi Georgie.
Kentucky Hill Jill on X says, Paul makes the show better. He's not afraid of conspiracies that later become truths. Well,
Thank you very much.
I don't know about that last part.
Well, come on. I was telling you about Fauci.
Later
You guys were
become
like, he
truths.
looks like the real deal. I put you in your place. Back when I told you that little dwarf bastard.
Hey, speaking of conspiracy, I'll throw one out there.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of dwarf bastards.
We should have a
Those two.
conspiracy segment of this show. We talk about North Carolina and
Well,
the
I
storm
was-
going in
I
there.
agree.
About
I was
the,
thinking like 10:15. It would fit perfectly.
Do you find it odd the uptick in AIDS medications that are now being plastered all over the TV?
I have not noticed it.
No,
I've
me
noticed
neither.
It's very odd.
No one would notice
Very
it.
odd.
I still think it's odd, that creepy scientist thing. What was his name again? Predicting all those things that'll come January 21st. What the-
Oh, yeah. Pete
Pete Hotez, yeah.
Hotez, yeah.
Hotez, yeah.
Yeah, we played that for Dr. McCullough last. All right, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, brand new week, getting started. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. 17 past the hour of 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Rick Delgado's going to do some news. Paul Nolan's here. He's got some thoughts on some things as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Aaron did a beautiful job decorating the studio with some Christmas lights and trees and stockings and more
Whatnot.
stockings. What are these stockings behind us say? Help? H-E, what's these two say? LP?
It's for Harry, Aaron, Fran, and David. And then yours are in front of you guys.
Oh, okay. I thought you were sending subliminal messages to help you. Help, please.
I mean,
come get
maybe.
me.
I do have 2 more stockings to bring in tomorrow. One for Vin and one for Kevin. So maybe I'll spell something tomorrow.
Okay. I didn't hear any stockings
Yours
for
is in
Paul.
front.
Is there a stocking?
There's
for
a Paul. There's one right in front of Paul.
Oh, your
Oh,
stocking's
you
right in front
are
of
a
you.
dove.
Look at you can see it on the TV with the P.
Yeah.
Look at that. How
Oh,
beautiful.
look at that.
Yeah, you all have one.
Yeah.
See?
She didn't forget you.
She's so swell.
See, you were just going to throw her right under the bus there, weren't you?
no,
Right.
no, I was just clearing my throat.
Oh, sounded like that to me.
You were clearing your throat.
Oh, okay, that what it was. All right.
I thought the P was for Prince.
Might be for something else that sounds like.
yeah, it rhymes with meanest. OPP.
What's going on, chat? Everybody, our friends in YouTube, X, Rumble Getter. Welcome on in. Make sure you follow us on all our social media at LFS6B. So, yeah, the Daniel Penny thing I was really happy to see because the judge was trying to pull some real nonsense there. Total lawlessness in New York City. And good for the jury for taking about, what, less than 8 hours to do this?
Yep.
Just, you know, I said the other day, I don't know, that they'll go home and catch wind of what the judge is trying to do. I don't know if that factored in or what factored in, but
Well, I think for a case like this, they're supposed to be quote unquote sequestered, so they're not supposed to watch any news or read about the case or do anything.
But didn't
like
the
that.
judge, wasn't the judge really
think
trying
it's
to like
impossible to do,
twist
but-
their arm for a conviction?
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he was doing. Exactly what he was doing by taking the top charge out and then basically giving him to go back and come back today to do the lesser charge. He was just trying to wring something out of him somehow. And he was hoping that they didn't realize that he could have been retried on that. And you would think now that that's that now is probably completely out. And thank God for that. Because this is the guy. By the way, have you seen, not to mix sports up here, Slick does sports, but have you seen Phil Mickelson's comments?
No.
Over the last couple of days?
Nope.
Boy, oh boy. I think we are seeing somewhat of a change.
No, people are not afraid to speak up.
Yeah. Phil Mickelson has said a couple things over the last couple of days about him I'll pull up his Twitter, but boy, he was there today when this came out. But he has been very vocal about, you know what? There's a lot of things in life that are this, that are that, and the next time you're going to be on a train, guess what you're going to wish for? You're going to wish there was a guy like this there. And then today he came out and he said, finally, some common sense. There never should have been a trial. He should be commended for selfless actions to protect the other passengers, and those who brought charges should be out of a job. Yesterday he said, hey, random thoughts. Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth are great in the booth. Day of the Jackal is an incredible show. If a deranged individual threatens to kill you, let's hope there's a Daniel Penny around.
Okay.
Sums it up.
I can agree with the last one. I'm not really a big fan of Tirico and Collinsworth.
Well, I think you see what he was doing there.
Yeah, I smell where.
And then December 6th, he said he retweeted Colin Rugg, and who said Daniel Penny's a model citizen who should be praised by the city of New York. Mickelson said, agree. Thank you, Daniel, for serving your country and for protecting the many passengers whose lives were threatened by this violent and deranged individual.
This is one of those things where race has nothing to do with it. And the fact that BLM is going out of their way to race bait and go merchant hunting for violence just to, as you said, build up their bankrolls is just disgusting. For me, this is the perfect example of right and wrong. What character is what we do when no one's watching. Penny could have just completely ignored the situation, got off at the next exit, and never, ever think twice about it. He took it upon himself to take on a big, strong, deranged lunatic. That takes a lot of guts, and what he did should be praised. And these people who are making these outlandish statements on the steps, they need to be tried. That's a form of terrorism. We'll go out there and have vigilantes, go out there and hurt someone, go strangle someone. Really? That's what we're going to say in public like that? You guys want the woke culture doesn't apply to it? Calling for violence on the street? No, this is crazy. The craziness is over. The gaslighting's over. We're done. We're not taking it anymore. We're tired of the BS. So move on. That's what the best part about it was that you notice that steps.
Yeah,
there was like 13 people there, yeah. And then when Eric Gardner's mom came on, half of them walked off.
Right.
They're full of it. They were just so happy to get the limelight.
And what's interesting about what you're saying is, the reason why Neely ended up dead is because for the last 4 years, they have encouraged this type of behavior.
Oh, yeah.
And they have encouraged no repercussions for this type of behavior. They've said it's okay to be a criminal. It's okay to mess with people. It's okay to hurt people. It's okay to rob and steal and stab and push down and attempt to murder or even murder. Because they don't want to have these people ever have any repercussions or pay a consequence for it. This is the result of the BLM mentality.
Amen.
What they're screaming about today,
bingo,
is what led us to today.
Well done.
Because they did it 4 years ago. They're trying to make this George Floyd too. It's like fetch. It ain't going to happen. And people, like Paul said, people are tired of it. It's not working anymore. Go ply your trade somewhere else. Go find something else to do, because grifting the American people and making them think the criminals are good is not going to work anymore.
Rick, I can't tell you how much I love the point you made. This is on BLM.
Yeah.
This is their fault.
This is the result of
their ridiculous policy and behavior.
Yeah. It's the result of their, mostly peaceful protests.
Yeah.
That ended up in burning buildings and buildings destroyed and lives destroyed. So there you have it.
And as people said throughout this whole thing, if this guy was had been found guilty from a majority woman jury, don't ever ask why men in this society then would not be stepping up for the next time this happens, or anyone else for that matter, if you live in New York City.
Without a doubt.
Who would want to put themselves in this position?
I know cops in the city who do not want to get involved at all. I have a lot of cop friends. I'm telling you flat out, point blank, the PBA doesn't have their back. They don't trust internal affairs. They don't trust their captains. The whole entire morale of the police department in New York City is kaput. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to get involved. And you know why? They're going to jail. They're going to lose their job. They're going to lose their pension. They're going to get killed for nothing. This has to end. Lawlessness just has to end. We live in a society here.
Yeah, and a civil society at that.
Enough's enough.
Yeah, and to the people of BLM, keep in mind that a lot of the people that testified for Daniel Penny that he helped on the train were also black and Hispanic, and they said he did the right thing. So again, go take your crocodile tears and go apply them somewhere else.
Yeah, take your race baiting hate and take it somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe go get a job and actually earn the money instead of grifting.
Yeah, go on the weekends and take it over to Al Sharpton on MSNBC. He'll take you all in and happily talk to all of you about it.
As long as he gets a piece of the action.
Yeah, as long as you
got to pay him first.
You got to pay him first.
Al Sharpton Production Company.
Good point, Rick.
All right, chat. What's going on, chat?
Howdy.
I heard someone say there was something wrong in the chat. I saw something on Facebook. Someone said there's something wrong. I don't see anything wrong. But if you want to give me more specifics,
howdy, YouTubers. Howdy do.
I will check it. But I don't. Fran, you see anything wrong?
Howdy
anything?
do.
Not in the ones I'm looking at.
No, I don't see anything either.
I've got Rumble, X, and Kick in front of me.
Damon, you look warm. Well, I'm in all black tonight because my son was honored at the Suffolk County Volleyball Scholastic Scholar Athlete Dinner.
And were you able to stay for the?
I was. He got 2 awards, and I saw both of them, and then I hightailed it out of there.
What kind of awards did he get?
He got a Scholastic one, and he got a honorable mention for All County Player.
Nice. All county, eh?
Awesome.
Yeah.
As a 10th grader?
Senior.
Oh, he's a senior. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How tall is he?
You've been away for a while.
6'5".
I really have. 6'5", huh? Does he have an afro? He could be 6'7".
No, he's not 6'5" with the afro. 6'7".
That's great. Good. Any chance to play some college ball at all?
I don't know. We're looking at some D3 schools.
Nothing better than a kid walking into college on a team, having a group of teammates.
Yeah.
Knows.
We'll see. It's tough, even D3.
Yeah, without a doubt. You're not kidding.
So tough.
And it's good basketball.
Very good. Very tough.
What schools in general are you looking at? Anything upstate, like Hartwick, or they have?
No. He's gotten accepted to Alberta.
Good. And he could play on those teams right away, or at least get an invite to camp.
We're trying to set up.
Yeah. I mean, they got to like 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5" though.
It's like power forward, I know.
Right? It's like shooting forward.
But does he have
Division
a full
II? If
beard
you're
yet?
not Division II, you won't get looked
6'6".
at unless you're 6'8", 6'9". Division I, you won't get looked at unless
Yeah,
you're like 6'10",
unless, yeah.
6'11".
Unless you're Muggsy Bogues and you can fly.
Yeah, you won't even get looked at.
But
I don't know. I don't even know. I'd rather play a club. Get no break.
Yeah, I know.
You're gone. You're gone in August, and you're not home till May. If you play the actual.
You want to get into the catching this kid Luigi? And
we'll talk about that next.
Does something seem off about this kid?
Yeah, lots. Like, how could this be him?
Right.
30 minutes past the hour. I thought I was going to call the EMTs
okay.
on you for. I look over there and you're like, gone.
I'm okay.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. I was going to say Wednesday. Monday night, getting the week started. Rick Delgado is here. I think here, but I don't know. He could be on Pluto for all I know. Paul Nolan is definitely here. Aaron and Fran are
Present.
here. Harry on the Highway is not here. Slick, of course, is off. And again, I want to thank the audience for just the unbelievable outreach that I've seen in the last 24 hours on our posts on all our socials about Slick's dad passing away Saturday night around 6:30 p.m. So thank you all again, and I'm sure Slick will need and love to spend some time reading all of that in the next week or so. So, so we're told that we caught this kid.
Ah, yes. And I was close.
We're told that after all of the seemingly painstaking stuff he went through to prepare for this, the seemingly knowing this guy's schedule, showing up, walking right out behind this SUV at the right exact moment with a weapon that he seemed to handle fairly well with a silencer on it, takes this guy out, calmly walks away while there's at least 3 witnesses that we know of, one standing right there who ran away, 2 in the car at least. I think I've seen a taxi driver that was interviewed said he saw it. So there's 3, 4, 5, who knows how many witnesses. Walks away, goes on a bike with his backpack on, goes through Central Park, supposedly dumps the backpack that has Monopoly money in it, and then escapes New York, goes to Pennsylvania, and gets caught from some woman who watches the news because he was hungry and went for a Big Mac. Is that basically the story?
That's
Something
pretty much
like
it,
that.
yeah.
We forgot about where he made out with somebody at Starbucks.
Did he make out with
No, he supposedly was flirting with a girl at Starbucks. Most killers are not flirting with a girl at Starbucks. Well, I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me. I mean, we know so much more about this guy than the guy who shot Trump. I mean,
in about 5 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
we knew more about this
it's
guy than we know
unbelievable.
about Crooks.
I mean, they legit, the news coverage has been 10x of what Trump's coverage was. Can you think about it? If anybody doesn't think the media is so, any lefty you know out there doesn't see it after this and to give up on him.
So, well, instead of me doing the news, Delgado, I don't know what you have here. I know John Solomon has a piece here, but I guess they're considering this guy obviously the main person of interest as of right now. He's been arrested.
He's the suspect, and we'll run cut number 7 in the background. It's Luigi Mangione arriving for court for his preliminary arraignment earlier today. CEO murder suspect Luigi Mangione shook when police approached him, according to this. He was wearing a blue medical mask and he was looking at a silver laptop computer when officers approached him at the McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Court documents say officers asked Mangione to pull down his mask, and the officers immediately recognized him as a suspect wanted in Thompson's murder in New York City. Officers had seen photos of the suspect from media sources. Mangione gave officers a fake ID with the name of Mark Rosario. Police ran the ID and determined it to be fake. So there's one piece there, Damon. He had a fake ID. He replied, officers then asked Mangione why he lied. He replied, I clearly shouldn't have. Mangione was then placed into police custody. They also found a black 3D printed pistol and black silencer in his backpack. Court documents say the pistol had a metal slide and plastic handle with a metal threaded barrel. The pistol had one loaded Glock magazine with 6mm full metal jacket round in it, according to documents. Police said the silencer was also 3D printed. So there you have it. That was just from about an hour ago that was reported. And the suspect, according to this, also traveled to various locations in Pennsylvania after the shooting. He carefully traveled from New York City to Pennsylvania, where he stopped in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. The Pennsylvania police said, based on everything they've seen, he was very careful with trying to stay low profile, avoid cameras. Not all that successful in some areas, but that was certainly an effort he was making, according to Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens of the state police. He took steps to try and avoid detection with some of the electronic devices that were out there. So there you have it. And they're crediting the rookie police officer for the arrest of Mangione.
Well, let's hope we get to the bottom of this because how about a little conspiracy theory twist here? You guys see any of this stuff about the death of Brian Thompson was also a little connected to Nancy Pelosi? So
No,
Nancy
I didn't see
Pelosi had done a lot of business with Brian Thompson, who was the CEO, obviously, and he had been under investigation for insider trading and fraud. And he had said on
What
an
does she
interview-
know about that?
And he had said, well, he had had a conversation with her right before the cybersecurity company Palo Alto was getting involved in the investigation. They were going to get a high profile out of it, and Nancy had bought a ton of
You're kidding.
futures right beforehand, and
Really?
she scored out again.
Wow.
Boy, it
Shocker.
must be good to be have two gigantic Viking refrigerators filled with ice cream and vodka.
Yeah.
She's got the new Ben and Jerry's
I did see that clip
vodka flavored
of him speaking earlier. He was the clip right there. He's
Yeah.
speaking at I guess is that a university or speaking at one of
That's
his
his,
shareholder meetings or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. There's this clip from tonight on CNN speaking about this, and I guess maybe the Luigi guy has said some other stuff that's being reported now. Here's this.
Sure thing, Aaron. Well, yeah, I'll say just about an hour ago, I was there inside that courthouse watching as Luigi Mangione walked right past myself and a number of other reporters. He was wearing a blue shirt, blue jeans. He was, of course, handcuffed, and he looked, even in this court appearance, visibly distressed, but he kept his brow furrowed through the duration of this arraignment hearing. And I should say what was interesting, though, Aaron, is you said we haven't heard a statement from the suspect. He did actually speak inside of that courtroom to the judge and to all the folks who were in there. But it was on very selective issues, and I'll just kind of go through what we heard. The judge asked Luigi Mangione a number of questions, first about his identity. So Mr. Mangione confirmed that that is his real name. He initially said that his residence was in Maryland, but then the judge actually pressed him on that, and then he said, actually, I have lived at various addresses before then ultimately giving an address in Honolulu, Hawaii. Then he also said that he has worked for 3 years as a data engineer up until about a year ago, and he also told the judge that he has no drug or mental health problems that the court needs to know about. But Aaron, one of the most interesting parts of that particular hearing was actually his statements after the conversation about bail. The prosecutors basically stepped up there and made the case why they believe that this man should be held without bail. They mentioned that he is awaiting potentially an arrest warrant coming from New York City as one of the major reasons. But they also said that prosecutors noted that they found him with $8,000 in U.S. cash, $2,000 in foreign currency, his passport, and also a Faraday bag, which is basically a bag designed to stop transmission of cell service or other sort of things like that. At the end of his speech, the prosecutor's speech, Luigi Mangione said, I actually want to address two of the things that you said. He said, I don't know where that money came from. I'm not sure if it was planted. And then he also said that that bag was waterproof. And the term that the prosecutors used when discussing the Faraday bag, the ghost guns, the 3D printed silencer, was the prosecutors used a phrase saying this is criminal sophistication. Luigi Mangione said, I don't know about any of this criminal sophistication when addressing that. But it's just interesting, Aaron, that of all of the things that were mentioned in that court appearance, the two that he noted or took issue with was the currency and then that bag.
Interesting.
What do you make of that, Delgado?
Well, considering the guy that we're talking about here is also the valedictorian of his class,
all
of his
boys high school
class. He's an anti-capitalist Ivy League grad who liked online quotes from the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, and he's one of those guys. He's anti-capitalist. I guess born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and he can afford to be anti-capitalist because, well, mommy and daddy are paying for everything that he does, so he doesn't have to worry about.
So we think do we think this guy is he's just basically an ideologically driven assassin now? Is that what Ivy League schools are producing? Do we think that this
they
is?
are
We
producing
think they got
tool
their
bags.
guy.
No, I don't know about murderers.
Do we think they have their guy here?
Very well could be.
Paul, what do you think?
I don't know yet. All I know is everything. It all just seems too weird to me. And the one thing that we've learned, our first reaction that night, we were pretty wrong. We're like, he's going to disappear into the night. We're never going to hear anything from him. Yeah, and lo and behold, he's already caught. So
yeah, and you would think a guy.
I think the thing I'm sorry. Go ahead. The thing that bothers me the most is I hate the news so much now. I can't trust one word that comes off the TV.
Right. Yeah, we have to look for ourselves.
It's unbelievable. It's been so bad for 25 years. It's you never know what to believe anymore. It's almost like anything that's on the news, not to believe.
Right. It's
that's how
crazy,
badly
too,
we're conditioned.
That this guy would, go through those steps, try to conceal his identity, and get busted this easily. But I feel like we've seen this play out before, where they finally let down their guard for a moment, and that's what gets them.
You would imagine, though, if he had this planned out, and to go whack this guy the way he did, you would have thought that he would have had, for one, glasses everywhere he went.
Right.
He's not wearing glasses. He's wearing a thin mask. I don't understand any of it at this point. Like, none of it really makes sense. And then to find him this quickly, maybe he really was just an ideologically, strained young goofball from an Ivy League school who have been all indoctrinated to hate anything to do with what they perceive as capitalism. What we'll see with United Healthcare is corporatism.
I was going to say, there would have to be something more attached. I mean, what's the motive here?
Because there's a bunch of
something a little closer to home than just anti-capitalism picking this guy, right?
Right, because there's a 3,000 people in the city he could have popped that day, just in that same 3-block square radius. If it was just capitalism,
and how did he know
corporatism?
How did he know this guy was going to be there at this odd time?
Why him?
Odd time.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw somebody saying, "Well, he's had back problems."
Huh?
Somebody online was like, if you're going to start to look for motive with this guy, you should start to look at his back problems. And I was thinking, what?
I don't think
it said because he's had back surgeries before.
Yeah, but,
what?
I've got back problems. I'm not going out there shooting people.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't understand that whatsoever.
And not only that, this guy probably doesn't have to worry about health care. He comes from a very wealthy, well-known Maryland family.
Yeah, no doubt.
This guy doesn't have to worry about, the insurance company's not going to pay for it. Because daddy's going to pay. Back
problems. The kid's fit as a fiddle. He's 26 years old. They show him like rock climbing. He had like 7% body fat. The kid looked like a pro athlete.
So, I don't know about the back problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just telling you. I also see that Alan Dershowitz was out today saying that the police who arrested the suspect, he thinks may have jeopardized the chances of securing a conviction already. So we'll get to why Mr. Dershowitz thinks that. But that's what he said today upon the arrest of this kid. So we'll cover all that. Plus we'll do some news with Rick Delgado when we get back. Right after this. Press too.
Okay, I got a bunch of clips.
That's where what do you call a girl from the debate?
Yep.
She's a clown.
Kristen Welker. She stinks.
That's just crazy how much bullshit like that. Oops.
You could say it. It's in the chat.
I'm trying not to, though.
Chat people don't mind bullshit.
I'm trying not to.
Chat. What's going on, chat? Hit the like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on.
How about we do the 1-2 thing? Do you think we got the killer here, or are we?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, let's go.
I like that.
1, you think they got the guy? 2, they don't have the guy. 1, they got the guy. This is him. Everything makes sense to you. 1 for that. 2, if you do not think they have the guy. Chat, let's go. Chat, go. 1, 2, go. Ones. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Who's the first person? 2. 69.
1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1.5. Got the guy.
Child of the king.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Jalo the King
Ones
says,
are winning right now.
Maryland, Hawaii,
Well,
San
maybe not.
Francisco, Ivy League, wealthy at 26.
6,
It
3.
all adds up.
1, 1, 2, 2. 9, 1. 3. 99. 999.
Nanny says he
1,
thinks
1.
he's smarter than everyone else. That was obvious.
69.
James
2.
Reed.
Drag Blacker, 6'9".
James Reed in the chat says
3.
it wasn't Luigi. It was actually his brother Mario who did it.
2. Oh, jeez. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. 5, 5, 5.
Come on,
Drag Blacker,
come on,
5, 5, 5.
That's fun. That's funny.
We got some ones here.
1, 1.
I'm on Getter. We got
2.
What do I got here on Getter? I got
Inside Job,
Inside Job.
12.
I got 2, 2, 1,
6, 6, 6.
1, 1, 1.
Why, do you think he was having an affair
0.
with the guy's wife? That's my theory. This kid was having an affair with
Come on,
this guy's
chat. 1, 2. Don't screw it up here. Half.
How about this? Someone,
Chat. Let's go.
I don't think he's a patsy. People are saying he's a patsy. I don't think he's a patsy.
2 divided by 3. 42 minus 44.
Some people are saying maybe a slug T.
1-800 mattress.
MK Ultra dude. Possibly.
LFS6B. Promo code.
well,
Use
MK
it
Ultra's,
this week.
MK Ultra's
pillow.
always an issue.
Did he have a unicorn costume? Good question.
Oh, that's a good question. Where was Paul Pelosi when this happened?
42 minus 44.
Getting hammered.
Minus 2. Damon, quit avoiding playing the piano. What? All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B on
Ask the audience if
on
you know
a Monday.
One, if you know what
The audience has
MK
been
Ultra.
audience has been weighing in the chat on whether we think we have the guy. 1, yes, you have the guy. 2, no, they do not have the guy. And of course, we have some wise guys in the chat who put something other than 1 or 2, or put some other way to get to 1 or 2. 44 minus 42. 2.
Clever.
And then someone said MK Ultra.
And then Damon
And
said,
I said, what's MK Ultra?
What's MK Ultra?
so
And Paul
one,
said,
if
please
you-
go home.
1, if you know what MK Ultra is. 2, if you don't. Let's see this. now.
2.
This will be interesting. By the way, for Penley in the chat also agrees.
Oh, they're just going to lie and put 1 because of your scolding of me.
Also agrees that yes. For Penley says AIDS all over and everywhere with these commercials. Yeah, it catches me off a little bit to see these commercials all over the place. I thought this was. I thought Magic Johnson already beat it for everybody, but it turns out for some reason, there seems to be an uptick, and we don't know why.
Have you
Or
guys
maybe we do.
read the real Anthony Fauci yet?
Of course, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone though for now. But that's a must. That's a must read or listen.
Okay, speaking of lots of commercials and trying to figure out how people and why people are doing what they're doing, here's Alan Dershowitz today on the arrest of, what most people, at least who put 1 in the chat, think is the guy.
Let me start with the Altoona, Pennsylvania arrest of this man who seems to have wanted to be arrested. I don't think so, but he knows his face is everywhere in the world, and he goes to McDonald's. Maybe he's a McDonald's addict. Previously, he was at Starbucks. It doesn't sound like a really experienced professional killer. And he takes with him his ghost gun, which, if he had thrown it into the lake in Central Park, couldn't have been traced to him because ghost guns don't have serial numbers. So he does every stupid thing imaginable, and he carries with him a series of statements, apparently attacking insurance companies. So, he gives them everything. There seems to be absolutely no doubt that they got the right.
And isn't that what he's already laid out, kind of the point?
Right.
You see where I'm going here?
Especially with this crazy face like that. That's
guy. And I, by the way, want to take a little pride in the fact that the new police commissioner of New York, Jessica Tisch, was the one who circulated all the pictures around the country and really organized this nationwide search for this guy. She gets a lot of credit. She was my student in criminal law. I remember exactly where she sat. She sat in the front row, right to my right. And
Let's get to the point. Why do we think
she would wear a low-cut dress?
Research assistant, and she helped me write my book.
Why do we
the
think
Fifth
that
Amendment,
they
privilege against
screwed up the
self-incrimination.
conviction, Alan?
So congratulations to
That's
Jessie.
what we
She's
came
done
for.
A great job, and I'm so thrilled that she managed to.
She used to wear Chanel number 5. I'd sniff her every day.
Everybody, a lot of other people had a role in it, including the people
Alan,
at the McDonald's who
why did they
recognized
screw
him
it up?
and the police
If a
that
guy-
arrested him.
If he gets close to this camera,
I'm
he's
a
gonna
little
lick it.
nervous about one aspect of the arrest.
go.
According to
Say if a
newspaper
guy in a
reports,
wife beater comes running
when they
out of the
arrested
back.
him, they found in his possession a series of documents relating to insurance companies.
It's like you could smell his breath from here.
Don't think that was based on a constitutional search. Get mad at me, but I believe in the.
Okay, so there we go. Constitutional search. An unconstitutional search
But
to
do they-
find seemingly everything that you'd want to find on a guy for this specific crime.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that he says those documents, but he doesn't say, "Well, they did an unconstitutional search for the gun." Well, if he's got a gun in there, I'm sorry, but I think police have a pretty good reason to search his bag because he could be armed, and they find all these things attached to this kid.
I just hope we don't convict them in the media before we know everything. You know what I mean? You know what? You're innocent to, proven guilty, but in today's day and age, everyone's guilty right away. So let's just see how this plays out.
Dershowitz's first couple points is kind of where I was when I was looking at this in the limited time I had today. Was thinking, wait a minute, this guy goes through all this painstaking to pull this off. And then he just
Doesn't
basically
make
going to
sense.
carry he drops the bag of Monopoly money, but he carries everything else with him, including a gun that, like he says, could not have been traced to him if he actually 3D printed it.
I mean, he might as well have just rolled his thumbprint and spit on the windshield of the car next to him. I mean, what?
I mean, it just seems like how do you go from so seemingly systematically clean to so ridiculously sloppy.
Yeah, it doesn't
because he's not a pro, right? He was probably in a mindset of like, I got to do this, and then as soon as he pulled it off, it was like, wow, I got away with it. And then after a while, you start to, hey, I actually got away with this. I mean, yeah, he like they said, he took some pains to try to avoid being detected with cameras and stuff. But he's not a pro. He's not the jackal. He's not going to disappear. He's not going to, change his complete appearance, have 18 different passports with 12 different countries that he could be in. He's not Jason Bourne. He's just going to disappear. But that's not him.
Jack Mack on Twitter says, escaping the NYPD but getting nabbed by an elderly patron inside a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania is tough end for the CEO killer.
Exactly.
Now, Delgado, obviously, you're not nearly where I thought you'd be on this. You're seeming you think they got their guy, and everything is.
They might have gotten their guy. Yeah.
Everything here is kosher.
Could be. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know this kid.
Okay.
But did you see what Taylor Loren said about this whole thing?
Well, she's absolutely needs to be put in a rubber room and the key thrown away. She is a psychopath.
She is disgusting.
I mean, she is nuts.
You want to hear some of it? Cut number 9. Here's Taylor Lorenz.
Is this Crazy Town?
Describing joyfully her thoughts of the murdered CEO.
The left is all doing this, by the way.
Yeah.
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like...
Serious?
I mean...
Joy at a man's execution?
Maybe not joy, but certainly not,
you just said joy.
You just said joy.
Because again,
we're watching the footage. How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's being gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Thousands of Americans that being murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people.
Greedy this, the greedy that.
The many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
But why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think
Why is she? She's disgusting.
Yeah, she is.
This is a devil. This is a
You
demon.
seem to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question
A
funny.
bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year because they are denied life-saving health care from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand why somebody would feel this reaction when they watched a CEO die. It's because you have not dealt, it sounds like, with the American healthcare system in the way that millions of other Americans have.
I've dealt with the healthcare system in various ways in America. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but the idea that I would view it as something.
Have you been denied life-saving?
If you're dating her out there, run away now.
That a man has been, he's just a health.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You know what?
Explosion.
I feel like, I don't know if this is wrong to say, I'm joyful that you blew her up. I'm joyful.
But meanwhile, she's like vigilante justice, right? Now, but if BLM says that it's fine. Okay. This is just twisted.
I'm in the jet.
He looked like the cleanest clean-cut kid you could ever dream
Let's
of.
go into the Rumble jet.
I mean, typical Ivy League.
Janice KM. Yes, she is
first
nuts.
in class kid, right?
Yeah.
That's like what is the connection? Why this guy?
I don't get it.
What?
I also don't know who that woman was. Who was that woman on Piers Morgan?
That was Taylor Lorenz.
Taylor Lorenz. I've heard that name before. She's despicable.
She was where? At the Post, Washington Post.
I think Washington Post. Yeah.
When my stomach turned at that.
No, I mean you can't even describe.
Big Bubba 53 tells me to wake up.
Almost like that's an act, because how could someone?
What am I waking up?
That depraved.
Big Bubba 53, explain. I don't know what I'm not waking up to.
Are you feeding the trolls?
No, I'm serious. I seriously want to know.
What did he say to you?
Well, you know what MK Ultra is.
Tells me to wake up. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Usually they're telling you to wake up.
Absolutely, I agree with him.
You see this him?
Totally agree. You need to wake up.
I need to wake up.
I don't know if you want that clip.
Yeah, I mean, you need to wake up, Delgado. You're sleeping at the wheel here.
I guess so.
I hate Mark Zuckerberg says the same thing. LOL.
Really?
Wake up, Delgado. Get off the couch. You've taken Harry's spot.
Oh my goodness! I got to get my fat ass off the couch and vote for Trump. I already did that.
Well, you're like, everything here's kosher. This is the guy. It's all perfect.
I think this could
nice
be
and
the
clean
guy.
cut. 1, 2, 3.
Really,
Put him
Mac?
away, and that's
You
it.
got a clip of us?
Yeah.
Wow, that's you do that? No. That's professional.
Why can't this be the guy? Why can't it just be, hey, he because let's face it, a person like this,
I mean, it makes sense that he keeps everything on him in one bag, goes to McDonald's.
You watch enough stuff, you're like, I can't leave stuff anywhere. People might find it. Maybe his ultimate goal was to take it somewhere to dispose of it, where he knew that nobody could find it.
But just listen, give me a fish fillet with cheese, give me a 9-piece McNugget and a Big Mac in between.
Yeah.
Then I'll go get rid of all the stuff that ties me to the murder.
Well, dude, you got to eat. You got to eat. And what if he had a coupon that expired that day?
Listen, I'm just obviously
I want to beg
playing along here. Obviously, could be the guy. I
don't think so.
I don't know. It just struck me as
think that
when I see the kid and the pit. I don't know.
I don't know.
Now, if they come out and tell me he had like a younger sister who died, I mean, you know, if there's something that they find, Damon's not interested in playing. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm still trying to wake up.
Wait, interested in what?
Playing what?
I want to go back to MK Ultra.
What am I missing? What am I missing? Hour 2 live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Getting a brand new week started. Glad you're in. 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Paul Nolan sitting right there.
And I'm having a very nice time.
And he's having a very nice time. And we're very happy to have you here, Paul. A couple times a week now going forward.
Nice,
we're excited to have you back, as the audience is. You're the only reason people watched anyways. People hated me from the start, so they're happy to see you back so that I can pick the grief off and they can go back watching you and Delgado talk about UFOs and who the hell else knows what. MK Ultra.
What? Who wants to talk about MK Ultra?
You still don't know what MK Ultra is?
Rick Delgado's here.
What's Operation Sirius?
He's gonna have some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always, and of course you, the live from Studio 6B audience. And again, I start the second hour where I started the first hour. Our thoughts and prayers, of course, with our friend Slick Rick Amorati, who lost his dad unfortunately on Saturday. And the outpouring of love and support and prayers and thoughts and memories and just everything from everybody on all platforms has been just overwhelming and beautiful. And I know Slick will take the time to see it once he's probably through this week. I don't know if we'll see Slick this week at all. Probably not. I encouraged him no. But like Rick Delgado said, Slick's the kind of guy who wants to get back in the saddle probably as quickly as possible. So who knows? Of course, he can do whatever he wants. I encouraged him to take some time, spend it with his family, get through the week, and then regroup and see how you're feeling next week. So we'll see when we see the Slickster. But we recapped the odds makers. Not good for the audience. And, of course, the audience was represented by one Kevin Downey Jr., who, I mean, to be fair, was only here Thursday and Friday. He hasn't really ever picked games. He hasn't really seen the odds makers as much. So I can kind of let him off the hook.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go there. That's
the other half of the team was represented by one Rick Delgado, who talked kind of a lot of smack going into the odds makers on Friday.
I like the SMU game.
That he liked his games, that he was going to bring the audience up, that he was going to help with the record. And, well, how'd that go?
Shut up.
0 for 4 for the two of them.
I think he's just bad luck. He's bad juju for me.
Maybe that's it.
Kevin. He brought me bad juju.
Of course we throw Kevin right under the bus.
Of course, he's not here to defend himself.
What else would you do?
He's nowhere nearby.
He's not here to defend himself,
Right.
so why not?
Of course.
Yes.
So there you have it.
All right. Well, do we have somebody from the audience this week, Aaron?
It's funny you say that. I'm not sure.
How funny is that?
This is another one of the same situations as last week. They never got me their Skype, so it's a whole thing.
Oh, okay. So maybe they're a little fraidy scared to come on the odds makers with, at this point, feeling the pressure of the audience's record. Yeah. Now, there is somebody who keeps writing in saying that they'll sub, maybe what the audience needs. You know what we need to do? Maybe the audience needs Chip again. Maybe we should reach out to Chip and see if he wants to try to salvage their record if we don't have anybody.
Maybe.
Because there's been a lot of confidence coming into these Fridays for the audience, and no one has really delivered other than Chip above 500. So maybe Chip can give them a couple 3-and-1s and get them going.
Not a bad idea.
Might be an idea to think about before Friday. So we'll think about that. Well, we've covered, I guess, the big stories of the day, which is the Daniel Penny acquittal.
Yep.
Hallelujah for that. Great job by this jury in New York, which we held out hope that this jury in New York would in fact see what was going on here, and seemingly they did. Despite the judge's best efforts to wring some kind of guilty verdict out of them and play politics and play ideological warfare here and judicial tyranny in New York, which he tried to do, along with this prosecutor who... Go ahead.
You know what I wonder? If the jury, and it probably does weigh into their decision making, I wonder if the jury takes the subway as often and sees all this nonsense going on and is like, whew, I wish I had that guy near me.
Well, I don't know what the numbers on the jury were, but there was one person on the jury who was there wearing 4 masks every day. That was the one I was worried about. The rest of them, I thought, they're going to see through. I mean, at least from the pictures I saw, the drawing. I mean, obviously, know who. I heard the makeup of the jury, but I kept seeing these sketches, and there was some guy in the front wearing 4 masks all the time, as he kept getting described. And I thought, well, that's going to be your problem. If you're still four masking in 2024,
yeah,
You're probably still vaxxing in 2024, and you're getting your combination flu shot and COVID shot probably together, and wearing 4 masks while driving alone in your car. That's the guy who's going to be the problem on the jury.
Right.
But they did the right thing. They did the right thing. So, and of course, the other news is I guess the main suspect in this killing of the United Healthcare CEO was found at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, from a tip from an elderly person who said, that guy looks familiar. I think that's the guy I've been seeing all these pictures of. Called the cops. They arrested him, and now they've brought him to court already and trying to get him. So what was the end result? Of no bail? He's being held?
I would assume so.
So Big Mac and the Golden Girls took him down.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
And a rookie cop.
And we played
rookie
a little
cop
bit.
making the collar.
Alan Dershowitz, who has seemingly, he's more in tune with me and Paul than he is with Delgado, who thinks everything's on the up and up, and this is the guy and everything's perfect.
I didn't say up and up.
I'm a little more suspect of what's going on here.
I'm just kind of gonna stay with, you know what? Sometimes these kids these days, I can say that because of my age. These kids these days don't think, nobody's gonna catch me now. Because they've seen too many TV shows. They've seen too many movies. They think anybody can get away with anything. And I'm sorry, it's not that way, bro. Can I call you bro? Because you're like 26? It doesn't work that way. If you really think you're going to be an assassin, you have to go full jackal. You can't have friends. You can't have family. You can't do anything. You can't go back to your old haunts. You can't go, I want to go back out on that date with that girl I messed up in high school. No, you have to go and disappear. You have to live overseas. You have to have international bank accounts. You have to be this international man of mystery. Nobody knows what you do, and you move, and maybe for the most part, people don't even notice you. That's even the best part about being one of these assassins. You don't get noticed. You just blend right in that nobody notices you. Unfortunately for you, everybody noticed you. So that's, he probably saw too many stupid movies. That's why he got
Tom Fitton from
Judicial
Watch says the Luigi Mangione thing is curious.
How come everybody I depend on to be normal is now going down the conspiracy route?
And he left it at that, which I think tells you all you need to know. So you're telling me that Luigi Mangione kept his gun and fake IDs for the cops to find after the killing? That seems very suspicious.
Well, and again, it's the way you're wording it. He kept them for the cops to find. He didn't expect to get caught by the cops. That's why he kept it. If he expected to be caught by the cops, he would have ditched it.
I don't know.
And a judge has ordered him to be held without bail.
I don't know, man.
According to C. Holly 3277 in the Rumble chat, it says, it can happen. My nephew found a murderer from Denver in the foothills. Just on a lark. All of a sudden, you come walking around. It's like, hey, you're a murderer. And then you call the police and the guy gets arrested.
There's more news over there with Diddy and Jay-Z. Jay-Z is now being...
Jay-Z.
And, it's funny. Remember when Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He said, it's coming down, 2024, it's coming down the pike. And nobody gonna get away with all you degenerates. And he was right, because it's coming. And you think about all the people they hung out with. You remember during COVID when all those conspiracy films were out and they were giving you half of it was true, half of it was exaggeration. The half that was true was coming out. There was a lot of creepy stuff going on back then.
Yeah.
Marina Abramovich, and she's hanging out doing spirit cookings with the Podestas and Jay-Z and Diddy and these white parties. I really hope all that stuff gets released. Maybe it'll finally, break us from all the woke stuff we have to endure in Hollywood. You can't watch a TV show without any middle-aged white guy who's just the dumbest guy on the planet, and he can't beat up a 19-year-old girl. Every girl is the best fighter in the world. And the whole reality is just so skewed. I'm just so sick of Hollywood. I can't watch anything.
I do feel like that's one of the things about Kash Patel going in is that when these things happen, I feel like we're going to feel like going forward, that maybe we won't have to be so nuts about all this stuff.
You mean
like we may actually find out what's like really going on given the time. Yes, no?
Oh, you mean like the Diddy stuff?
You mean
well, just like even the event, like any of these like shootings or stuff like that, you just do you feel like going forward with him in there, like we'll actually maybe get a straight story?
I don't know.
I do.
I guess I would hope for that. I would hope for the best, but and again, I think Trump said this when he took a look at the JFK files and he talked about releasing them and pulled them back, and he thought better of it because certain people were still alive and maybe the country wasn't ready for it. You don't know because this it comes down to these people's what they think. It's like should we release this part? Should we tell them this? I'm all for just let it all hang out. But there are some people. There are a lot of people in this country that probably can't handle stuff like that. It challenges their belief systems, and maybe they might freak out. They might.
The truth should set you free. I disagree.
Like the red pill.
I couldn't disagree more. I just couldn't. Everything's got to be out there. We're grown-ups. We're big people. We can handle it. It just all the truth should be out there. Full transparency everywhere on everything. I don't think any more of this gaslighting. Everyone's got to have to feel like they're crazy. You can't trust your news. You can't trust the Operation Mockingbird nonsense of the same garbage being spewed over and over and over. The social engineering. It's all nonsense. We don't need it. We'd be a better nation without it. I hope Kash Patel opens up the books. I hope he opens up everything on every conspiracy from Jump Street, and let us be wrong if we were wrong.
And I agree. I think it should be that way. I just think there's a lot of people in this country that can handle it.
I think people can handle it. I think people just can't handle being lied to anymore.
Look at the liberals. They so don't want to believe the truth that they will believe everything that they read a headline and they'll believe that.
You see,
but they won't go and actually look something up and find out for themselves because, like you said many years ago, Paul, and I always credit you for pointing this out, is people would rather believe the lie than to accept the fact that they had been lied to.
Yeah, well, you see Anna Kasparian, is that her name?
Yeah.
She came right out on Glenn Beck, and she was just like, Glenn Beck got her to she finally sees it. Even the guy Cenk Segura was on the PBD podcast, and he was almost rational.
Almost.
Before we hit the commercial break, are you going to allow him to use your own words against you like he just did? I'm not.
No. I'm actually giving him credit. I'm giving him kudos, Damon. Don't try to gaslight.
Over here with this guy.
Look at this guy.
Paul, you said once. What?
No, and that's what I base it on. That people are so married to their positions, they don't care what the truth is. They need to believe this.
Well, Paul thinks you're wrong. So how about that?
All right, fine.
All right, live from 6B. More to do right after this.
This is not the same Paul I used to know.
It's good.
Here we go. Ordinary passenger in the Rumble chat says Luigi could not have done it, Damon. He doesn't have a middle name.
Oh, that's right. I always
all
say
assassins need a middle name.
They all need three names. Yeah. All these lunatics need three names.
Damn
it. Good point.
Luigi, his middle name could be a doozy too. Pastarini Mangello. What's his last name? Mangione.
It's got to be Giuseppe.
Damon being a little mean to Delgado tonight. Oh,
tonight?
Here we go.
Come on.
Here we go. I love these comments. Queen Victoria on X. Damon is being a little mean to Delgado tonight, eh?
It's every night.
Yeah, it's every night. Haven't you figured it out yet?
He's consistent.
I think Sergeant Arb's got it right. I'm down with this. I think Delgado has started selling off his Reynolds stock. Yeah. You're way less Reynolds rap than I would have thought you were.
What chat are you guys on?
I think I started picking up some shares.
I'm going to go back to the Getter chat.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know about that.
Obviously, everybody sees it. I don't know what you don't know.
Everybody else sees it, but they don't know.
I mean, they all see it.
What do I know?
They all agree with me tonight. Who would have thought this? The roles have reversed.
I know.
Well, if they're looking for consistency, you have 2 reads tonight.
Shut up, Fran.
Fran. Spiking the ball.
Wasn't someone from the chat going to do the reads from now on? Can we put a camera in their house and bring them on live just for... That's actually a great idea. I love that idea. I just came up with it now. Every time we have reads, if we went live to a viewer and they I guess that probably sponsors wouldn't be too happy about that.
They'll probably do as...
I would enjoy that thoroughly, though. Okay, let's see. What do I got? Here we go. Nope, this is not it. BGAM?
Yes.
Got it.
Frederick Leathers takes the headline from the B. Juan Soto retires from professional baseball to play for the New York Mets.
As a diehard Met fan, I love that.
That is a great...
I mean, is that the most insane number you've ever seen? None of it deferred?
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
what the hell? What are they thinking?
They're going to have to renegotiate it at some point.
They realize these things never work out.
They never work out. He's going to end up with the next Bobby Bonilla contract.
And he's an average fielder, so he'll probably be a DH in 5 years.
Sound like the blues on a Monday night. Let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. Open a gold IRA with Birch Gold Group and get free silver coins shipped directly to your home. That's right. It's the most wonderful time of the year. The time of the year when Birch Gold gives away a free silver American Eagle coin for every $5,000 purchased. And here's the best part. You don't have to pay a penny out of pocket to do it. By December 20th, you've got 11 days. Convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals, and Birch Gold will send you free silver coins directly to your home. Now, you might be thinking, why do I need to diversify into gold? Our guy's heading to D.C. He won. Things are good. Well, here are the facts. An administration trying to put a dent in $36 trillion of national debt in just 4 years is like a field mouse trying to stop a freight train. We can't even afford to pay the interest on the debt, let alone the principal. So better to be safe than sorry. Take action now to protect your savings. Text the word America to 989898 for a free information kit on gold and to claim your eligibility for free silver on your purchase from the Birch Gold Group. But you must do it before December 20th. Again, text America to the number 989898 for peace of mind that lasts longer than 4 years. Well, Donald Trump has done it again. With his presidential victory and a red wave sweeping the House and Senate, conservatives are back in the driver's seat. But as the fight to restore America begins, now is not the time to get complacent. You have the chance to be part of a movement, not just a voter, but as a member of a powerful organization that takes its marching orders directly from you. And that, of course, is AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservatives' alternative to AARP. We stand for faith, family, and freedom, and we're fighting for the values that make America great. Join AMAC today for only $1. That's right, I said $1. That's good for your first year, not your first month, not your first week, not your first day. $1 for your first year. But don't wait, the special offer ends December 31st. Donald Trump is building his team. You can be a part of it. Join AMAC today and help us continue to fight for a brighter, freer future. Visit amac.us/Studio6B, amac.us/Studio6B now to claim your $1 membership. Make your voice heard. amac.us/Studio6B. Together, we can keep the momentum going. $1 for 1 year. amac.us/Studio6B. Go there tonight. Sign up for AMAC. Great people, great stuff. All right, let's do some news. I don't think we've officially even done any news here the whole show. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. Of course, I want to remind you that sports is brought to you, well, even though we're not doing sports, obviously, is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use if you're going to shop at MyPillow this week, next week, as you get ready for the holidays. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Let's do the news. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, real quick, in honor of Slick, the big sports story, of course, is Juan Soto, formerly of the Yankees, now signing a huge deal with the New York Mets for upwards of $765 million. I mean, upwards to $800 million if he hits certain benchmarks throughout the length of the contract, which is set for 15 years.
That's the key is, like, when Alex Rodriguez signed for, back then it was like $250 million.
Yeah.
When he went to, I guess,
it was
Texas,
only $250 million.
When he went to Texas from Seattle, like 80% of the money was deferred to like the last 2 years of like the 10-year deal.
Right.
Unbelievable.
None of this money is deferred.
Yeah, and like the Ohtani contract, most of that is deferred.
Yeah.
Like most of it.
I don't know, like, I don't get it. Like, how do you stay motivated after your first 2 paychecks? I mean, when I got a student loan, I slept till noon for like 9 straight days. How is this guy going to stay pumped up to play? Like, got $51 million this year.
Not $10 million that at bat. $10 million
Pass
that
the
at bat.
bonbons. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that is crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
Mets fans are happy, but man, that deal seems like it's going to come back at some point. And
I'm a Met fan. What was the quote?
What did we do?
The quote from the Babylon Bee is Juan Soto retires from professional baseball to sign with the New York Mets.
It's hysterical.
Which is, hey, if you're a Yankee fan of New York, that's completely true. There's nothing funny about it. As a Yankee fan, I'm completely at ease. I'm fine with this move. Move along. Thanks for stopping by. But there was no way he was going to be worth that much more than Aaron Judge. No way. Because he wasn't even the best hitter on the team.
And not the best fielder. At least Aaron Judge is a superstar fielder.
Yeah. Frank the Tank says that you're wrong. He says this is the biggest FU the Mets have ever delivered to the Yankees. What do you think about that?
I think that's true.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see if it brings any championships.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be the ultimate decider.
Well, this guy Cohen prints money, right?
And he hasn't won yet.
But, I mean, think about it, though. How much money he has, he don't care.
It's the same with the Baltimore Orioles of the 90s. They tried to buy themselves a championship team. They had great players, but they never played great.
You still got
a
a draft.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that core the Yankees had.
Yeah, exactly.
So much was homegrown.
All came up through the minors.
And I am a flea-ridden Met fan.
Are you saying the Yankees never tried to buy a championship?
Oh, they did, and it failed.
Okay,
and it wasn't until they stopped that practice in the mid-90s and they started bringing up the Jeters and the Riveras and all those, and
Ernie.
didn't trade them away, that they actually, look, we can win with these guys.
Yep.
So I'm fine. Juan Soto, enjoy. You'll look terrible in blue and orange. It's just a terrible combination. And whoa. It really is, Paul.
No, it's terrific.
Yeah, it is.
You don't like sunsets? Blue and orange sunset?
Yeah.
Please, come on.
I'm all for the pinstripes.
Come on.
All right, let's go across the. Let's stay in New York, shall we? As a woman who alleges she was sexually assaulted by Sean Diddy Combs has amended her lawsuit to include allegations that she was also assaulted by one Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z, at the same party. The lawsuit was initially filed against Combs in October, but on Sunday, the woman added Jay-Z's name. He's a rapper and businessman, and as a defendant to the civil lawsuit, Carter is the first celebrity to be accused of sexual assault in connection with Diddy Combs. In a statement addressed to CNN, Jay-Z called the allegation so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Combs was indicted in September on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and prostitution-related charges. He pleaded not guilty to the charges and denied all wrongdoing. The woman, who was identified as Jane Doe, said she was 13 at the time when she was allegedly assaulted by Combs and Carter at an after party. First off, I've never been to an after party, and I was way older than 13 when I could have gone. Why is a 13-year-old at an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards is beyond me. The woman alleges she began to feel woozy after consuming a drink at the party and wandered into the nearby bedroom. The woman alleges Carter raped her first, followed by Combs. The woman says she hit Combs and ran out of the party, according to the amended lawsuit. Carter, also known as Jay-Z, was identified in the initial lawsuit as Celebrity A. So there you have it. And I know Paul mentioned...
all the creeps who have been surrounded by this, when you think about how much smoke there was around all of these pedos and animals in Hollywood and the music industry and how compromised they all are, it's disgusting. You think about a Lady Gaga and Marina Abramovich and Podestas and all the Pizzagate and all those emails from Podesta and all the creepy stuff that was coded and said.
It was coded in language. You're like what the hell
was
are they
pizza was little girls and hot dogs was little boys. There was so much sickness in that, and if anything comes to light, I hope all those animals are exposed.
Yeah, and referencing Cat Williams, that amazing interview he did with Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
You definitely should check it out. He comes for these people. And notice nobody ever sued him.
Nope.
All right, 26 past the hour. More live from Studio 6B coming up right after this.
Yeah, no doubt. Even that statement.
Real hesitation on his part.
No question about it. On his statement alone was, bring criminal charges, not a civil, because I'm going to beat you. Keep in mind, this is a long time ago. This is coming
criminal's going to be a lot tougher. Civil's a lot easier.
He was on the offensive. Very. Chat. James Reed on YouTube says, Chris, Damon can't pay his bets. What makes you think he can pay you to do the reads? LOL.
Oh, snap.
Oof.
Hey, when we get back,
how do I ban somebody in the YouTube chat? Can I do that? No,
when we get back from the Sphere in Vegas, we'll tell you exactly how good
I pay any bets I have to pay. They didn't win. That's the only reason.
Because
just remember that.
We did win.
You won nothing.
We won.
Nothing.
Everything.
No chance.
That's why John Solomon doesn't call you anymore. He's like,
I'm not
hanging out with this loser anymore. He almost.
Do you owe him money too?
Yeah. Of course he does. He got to
nothing.
Got to send us to Vegas.
These guys think they won this Biden thing because he dropped out. No.
Told you.
You won nothing.
Told you.
Most of the audience at this point has come around to my side.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
Just because you're wearing a sweater, it doesn't mean they've come around.
I'm just telling you.
Do you see somebody in the chat?
Quiet there, Aaron.
Child of the King gave you a nice little tip there.
Oh, Child of the King did a super chat on YouTube?
Yep. And by the way, I'm also a Child of the King.
I interviewed Child of the King on my morning show. She could host this show. Okay, I don't even see it, Paul.
It was up there. I saw it. I'm not making it up, I promise. Here it is.
I'm on YouTube. I don't even see the super chat.
What about this thing here? What does that mean? That's very nice of her.
I don't see it on mine. Why don't I see it?
David Wall said, wow, being addicted to y'all is worse than drinking or anything else. I've missed you.
What the hell's going on? I have no super chats.
Live conspiracy theory from
whatever it is. Thank you.
Stupid 6B.
What's it? Read it, Paul, since you have it and I don't. Super chat.
Yeah, it says Luigi Nicholas Mangiani is at Live. His name is already out there.
right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Paul Nolan's here, Rick Delgado's here as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. We were doing the news in the last segment. What did we leave off on? Let's talk about Trump on Meet the Press.
Jay-Z.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we haven't talked
Jay-Z,
about that.
right. Jay-Z, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Jay-Z and the allegations against him.
Yeah.
You said a letter had been, or I guess a statement he released.
He put out a very fiery statement through Rock Nation, which is his company, really going on the offensive, which if I was accused of something like this, I would do exactly what he did. And most guys don't. And it's always seemingly surprising why they don't go on the offensive, but he has, seemingly. So I don't know if that means anything, but he is not just seemingly thinking my money is going to get me out of this if there's really smoke there. He has gone out and said, you picked the wrong guy to play this game with. I have kids who are going to school who are going to see headlines. I'm not sitting by idly. I'm not going to sit by idly and do some NDA with you. It's basically the way I read it.
Didn't OJ do the same thing? OJ is not going to rest till he finds the killer?
Well, yeah, he said, yeah. Then he went looking at every sand trap around the country. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure the two really are a great comparison given the evidence we had of OJ. I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of people that come off all blustery and be like, "Oh, you messed with the wrong," and all of a sudden they're guilty and like, "Oh."
I don't disagree. I'm just saying,
Fauci.
Yeah. If I was accused of something like this and I was of that profile, I would probably put out the statement he put out.
Well, yeah, you would have your attorneys draft up the best sounding thing you could. Yeah. You know, it's not his voice. He's not going to do it. He's good. He's
obviously a good lyricist, so he can write them. I mean,
believe me, he's got some problems.
He's got to sneak up on a glass of water. One of the ugliest men in the history of the world.
I mean, why do you think would you say he has got problems? What? What'd you just say?
I go, he has to sneak up on a glass of water. One of the ugliest men in the history of the world. He is funny looking.
Well,
he is a disaster.
Hove.
But don't worry. Yeah, Beyonce sees right past that. By the way,
she's got more money than he does, by the way.
By the way, there's questions about when they first hooked up, and it could have been, she might have been underage from what 16. I've read.
There's evidence that she was 16 when they hooked up first.
All right, what are we, Hot 97 in New York here tonight? What else is going on in the news?
Let's see Trump, this girl. Now, did I notice that this girl was kind of flirting with Trump this time around? I felt like
no.
I thought she was trying to come on to him a little bit.
Kristen Welker?
Yeah.
Kristen Welker.
I'm only kidding. She hates
Kristen
him.
Welker might be the worst.
She's the worst.
I mean, host, whatever you want to call what she does, that I've ever seen. She has this thing. She's so driven ideologically that she can't just ask questions. Right. She asks her ideologically driven talking points in some kind of maybe form of a question. And then the kicker is, whatever she asks you, she absolutely does not listen to anything you say. And then she has to then tell you her talking points in her follow-up. She would ask Trump about the Dreamers, which, by the way, I didn't love his answer, but that's his answer. So, do you want to deport the... You said in 2012 that you were going to. They all need to be deported. Something I don't even know if this is true, but this is the example. And so then he starts to give an answer like he did and says, "Well, something needs to be worked out with the Dreamers." And she jumps in and goes, "Oh, okay, so that's a little different because in 2012 you wrote that all of these needs to be supported and need to be deported." And he would give more of an answer. Well, I think this is, and then she'd go, "Oh, okay, so what you're saying is that now you've kind of changed your mind. Because back in 2012, you said that..." And she kept going back, and she did it throughout the entire interview. But whatever the question was, he'd start to answer. She had no interest in what he was saying. And then she'd go back to exactly the question and say it over and over and over again, even though he already answered it.
Right, because he already batted that stupidness to the side, and she can't understand that was already batted to the side. When it comes to the Dreamers, he took that off the table back in September of 2020 when he said, "I made them an offer. 1.8 million. We'll get it done for the Dreamers." And the Democrats turned him down flat. Why? Because they wanted to make it an issue for the upcoming election. They didn't ever want to solve this problem. They just want to use it to beat Republicans over the head. That's their game. We got a couple clips from this interview with NBC News' Kristen Welker. She was a moderator of the NBC. She's the moderator of NBC's News' Meet the Press. He also talked about extending the tax cuts in the first term, his plans to deport millions of undocumented immigrants, and pardons for January 6th. What do you want to go to first? You want to talk about minimum wage?
Throw them all up there, whatever you got.
All right, cut number 3. Here's Trump.
Let's see how many times she does it.
Talking about minimum wage, and she brings props. Check this out, cut 3.
There are 20 states that still have the federal minimum wage at $7.25, and I actually have a map. 19 of these states actually voted for you, sir. Mm-hmm. And you can see it right here. I don't know if you remember this, but during the debate in 2020, I asked you if you would raise the minimum wage. You said you would consider it. And so my question for you is, now that you are going back to the White House, for these 19 states that voted for you, are you going to raise the federal
minimum wage? It's a very low number. I will agree. It's a very low number. Let me give you the downside, though. Yeah. In California, they raised it up to a very high number. And your restaurants are going out of business all over the place. The population is shrinking. It's had a very negative impact. But there is a level at which you could do it, absolutely. Yeah.
What is that level, do you
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I can say this. You have a lot of businesses that are open and thriving because of the lower minimum wage. If you raise it too much, and you understand this, if California went crazy, they went crazy. And people, the restaurants are closing all over. Many more people are hurt.
Central planning can never control an economy. It's never going to happen, never will happen, can't be done. The free market must find level water. It's got homeostasis for a reason.
Well, it's because what it costs to live in New York versus Mississippi is going to be vastly different.
And not just that, it's the tax consequence. Yeah. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the government can take half my paycheck before I even touch the money. It's theft. Tax is theft. Let's get sovereign money. Let's get income tax out of our lives again. And he wants to unite everybody. Cut tax. Keep cutting tax. Yeah. How about this? You want to do something? Stop letting credit card companies charge 23%. That's mafia stuff. You want to unite people? What other things he could do? Right? That Doge department. Let's cut a ton of the spending in the military. And what a toilet seat costs $775, I can get you one for $30. We'll go to Marketplace on Facebook. The things they do, the things that we waste on, they could save $1 trillion a year right off the bat just in waste.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if the waste, fraud, and abuse really makes. I said it's like throwing a deck chair off the Titanic. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't know. A lot of these Republicans running around with fake cuts that they say are going to make a big difference. I don't think anybody has a grasp on how bad the situation is with the debt in this country and the deficits and the spending that both sides do. Let's just call it like it is. Let's not make it out that the first Trump term we were cutting. I mean, we were again COVID. I get
was it $2.4 trillion for the CARES Act? We railed against
2.8, I think. Yeah, not targeted at all. We railed against it at the time. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to tackle it. I mean, Elon has continually made the case for it, and I applaud it. But these Republicans, again, they're like the arsonists now running around telling you how to use the water hose. It's like, well, wait, you lit the fire. Now you're going to tell me how to use the water to put it out?
Yeah, you might as well just give them a book of matches.
I mean, what, are you kidding me? All these people who voted for all this crap now tell us, oh, yeah, I got some cuts for you. They're all fake cuts. They're all fake. It's all fake. It's nonsense.
You know, another way that you can unify people and save money is, how about everybody in Congress? Everybody, in the Senate, every single person in D.C., your pension's cut in half. Your salary is cut by 30%.
They'd never vote for it.
Yeah, I know, but enough's enough. These people are all getting high on the hog, telling us how to live, taxing the daylights out of us, spending on every ridiculous thing there is. I think a lot of money can be saved. And I honestly think tariffs can work for a while, too, until industry starts getting built up here.
Did you see Ron Paul might be involved with them? You got to be happy about that.
Yeah, very much so. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to another cut.
What else you got?
Here's Donald Trump talking to Kristen Welker about Liz Cheney and January 6th. Mm-hmm. Check this out. Cut number 4.
And what did they do? They deleted and destroyed a whole year and a half worth of testimony. Do you know that I can't get I think those people committed a major crime.
Sir.
And Cheney was behind it. And so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think
I think
should go to
everybody
jail.
anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
No, not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill.
When you say that,
On
it carries
strengthening the-
weight, though. You've tapped these people to lead the Justice Department and FBI.
They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
Biden.
Yeah. She's really a problem.
She is quite terrible at this interviewing stuff. You got one job there, Chris.
Would she ever talk to Biden?
Let's play one from here. I think this is an example of what I was talking about of her.
Okay.
I think. Let's play this one.
Let me ask you about RFK Jr. He has obviously talked about his skepticism of vaccines. He's expressed opposition to childhood vaccines. Do you want to see childhood vaccines eliminated?
If they're dangerous for the children. Look.
So possibly?
When you look at some of the problems, when you look at what's going on with disease and sickness in our country, something's wrong.
Are you talking about autism?
Well, if you take a look at autism, you go back 25 years, autism was almost non-existent. It was, 1 out of 100,000, and now it's close to 1 out of 100.
Well,
I mean, what's happening? If they can find it. Now, I did something the other night that was a little unusual. At Mar-a-Lago, I called the drug companies, the top drug companies, and I called RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz and some of his people. And I said, let's all get together and let's figure out where we're going. Because we're going to do a lot of things. Number one, we're going to reduce prices because the middleman makes more money than the drug companies, in all fairness to the drug companies. There's a middleman that nobody even knows who they are. And you look at our drug prices, they're much higher than the prices for the same medicine, for the same stuff. So we met, and we met for a long time, and we talked about pricing, and we talked about vaccines, in terms of what happens. We talked about pesticides. We talked about everything. And I think a lot of good things are going to come from him. And he's not going to upset any system. He's not going to upset this. He's not looking to, to reinvent the wheel totally. But when you look at the numbers, we really don't have a very healthy country.
Well, sir, going back 25 years, studies show that there is no link between vaccines and autism. And yet it sounds like you are open to the possibility of him looking
I'm
at
open to
getting rid of
I
them.
think somebody has to find out. If you go back 25 years ago, you had very little autism. Now you have it.
Well, they say because they're better at identifying it.
Look at those crazy eyes. I can't with her.
1 in 100,000, and now it's 1 in 100. That's a pretty bad number.
Childhood vaccines.
I mean, something is going on. I don't know if it's vaccines. Maybe it's chlorine in the water, right? People are looking at a lot of different things.
Childhood vaccines.
I want them to look at everything.
Everything. So childhood vaccines have prevented about 4 million deaths.
Yeah, everything. Childhood vaccines. Everything. Childhood vaccines.
Yes.
Childhood vaccines.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
She clearly has never read David Kirby's book, Evidence of Harm. She should start there.
Yeah, without a doubt. View. I gotta tell you, some of the chats are funny.
Child of the King. This one I got. $20 super chat. Paul Nolan, we love you. We so love you, brother. I miss how spot on you are. So glad you are back. Also glad to hear you are a child of the King, too.
I'm my Lord and Savior.
Michael on YouTube says, Paul, I'm elated that you are back on the show. I'm glad you are back with the boys. Best wishes from Mike B. from Tacoma, Washington.
I'm so grateful, guys. I really appreciate the warm welcome back. I love being here. I was bouncing around all day and looking at news and just really looking forward to this.
Brian on Facebook says, hey, Damon, could you please check out, where'd it go? Check out the Indian Valley Braves football team from Ohio. I could try, yeah. I don't know who they are. Are they playing the Cowboys this week? No.
we could have probably spent way more time talking about minimum wage and how terrible it is for young workers.
We've talked about it a lot on this show.
Have we? I mean, it's terrible.
How the Democrats are fiscally illiterate when they talk about it.
The problem we have is we have fake, fiat money, and it's not backed, and there's no value. If any rich person storing their money in cash, no, they store their money in art. They store their money in rarities. They store them in gold, and they know the paper's worth nothing.
Mm-hmm. What do we keep saying? Fix the money, fix the state. Why haven't we heard about Boris Epstein? Bob on Facebook says, I have not heard anything on Boris Epstein. The story just kind of vanished. I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, I know they were investigating it, and I'm sure they're not talking about it. So.
Yep. Where's your jug, Paul? They missed a juice jug.
Oh, remember that thing? Remember when you broke it?
In the parking lot?
Oh, yeah.
No, he broke it in here.
Here?
No, in the parking lot in the front.
Yeah. Oh, in the parking lot? I thought it was in the hallway.
And I tried my best to clean it, and the glass stayed there for like a year.
The lemons were there for like 3 months.
They really were.
Is this the last segment already?
Yeah.
Holy bananas.
It's been fast.
So all right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Last segment of what's been a quick Monday night show. Real America's Voice. Paul Nolan's here. Delgado's here. Aaron Fran holding it down. One more time, I want to send our love and thoughts out to our buddy Slick Rick. Of course, his father passed away, unfortunately, Saturday night. And I want to thank the audience once again for just the overwhelming out-loving of support for Slick over these last 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it's been. And I'm sure Slick will read all the comments, respond and like, and go through all of them as much as he can. And maybe we'll see him this week, and if not, we'll see him next week, I'm sure. Get back in the saddle, and I think he's going to be okay. So, and we'll be there to support him, as I know you will as well. So, just want to thank the audience for that. It is truly a family, and you guys are the reason we do this. So, and your attachment and, of course, connection with Slick is unlike maybe anybody else on the show. I always said if we ever go out and do live shows, he's the one I need to get security for. So, what else is going on in the news, Delgado, before we wrap it up?
Let's see. Bomb threat against Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. You hear about this?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Rome Police Department's Assistant Chief of Police received an email containing a bomb threat directed at Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It says here this is from Marjorie's House.gov account. It says, we are pleased to report Congresswoman Greene is safe. She extends her heartfelt gratitude to the Rome Police Department for their swift and professional response in ensuring her safety. The content of the email threat can be viewed below. I'll read it to you. Let's see. For Palestine, it says, I've constructed a pipe bomb, which I recently hid in Marjorie Taylor Greene's mailbox at said address. It is set to go off during the weekend, but it would also explode the next time anybody opens the mailbox. Even if Marjorie doesn't open the mailbox herself, I'm still satisfied with the prospect of some pig cops losing their lives or being injured. Viva, viva Palestina. That was that was written on there in the email. The source of the email being traced to a Russian IP address. Due to the international nature and severity of the threat, the office is collaborating with the federal law enforcement as well as the FBI and local law enforcement as well to make sure this person is brought to justice. After receiving the threat, the Rome Police Department quickly dispatched their bomb squad to her home to ensure that there was no active threat against the Congresswoman. Unfortunately, this is not the first time the Rome Police Department has been dispatched to the Congresswoman's home. Since being elected to the federal office, Congresswoman Greene has been swatted at least 9 times, deliberate attempts to provoke deadly police violence through false and highly exaggerated threats. So there you have it. Bomb threat to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Unfortunately, probably all too common for her at this point, which is terrible.
Horrible.
Also, I don't know if you saw this. President Bashar al-Assad is no longer in Syria. He's decided it's time to leave the country and make his new life in Mother Russia. President Assad left Syria behind, fleeing to Russia with his family and leaving his once impenetrable Damascus mansion to be ransacked by militants and rebels. Members of the Josh al-Assam, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Ties to Al-Qaeda and other rebels stormed the sprawling estate in the affluent neighborhood of Damascus after the rapid offensive toppled Assad's government last week. The compound, made up of 3 6-story buildings surrounded by gardens, was a symbol of Assad's power, but is now under the control of the rebels. So it looks like Syria has fallen. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this, because that was kind of a strange situation. But I guess the CIA wants what the CIA wants.
Oh yeah. Well, the CIA and the project for the New American Century have been planning to get every one of these nations. The only thing left on their list to topple is Iran, and they will have succeeded their mission.
Yeah. And I got one more Trump clip for you from the interview, Damon, if you want to see. Here he is talking about Christopher Wray. This is cut number 1. FBI Director Christopher Wray. You can listen to Donald Trump discuss his future right here, cut number 1.
Are you going to fire the current FBI Director Christopher Wray, who you appointed?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with him. He invaded my home. I'm suing the country over it. He invaded Mar-a-Lago. I'm very unhappy with the things he's done, and crime is at an all-time high. Migrants are pouring into the country that are from prisons and from mental institutions, as we've discussed. I can't say I'm thrilled. I don't want to be Joe Biden and give you an answer and then do the exact opposite.
We're going to talk about
so
that.
I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to say is I certainly cannot be happy with him. You take a look at what's happened. And then when I was shot in the ear, he said, oh, maybe it was shrapnel. Where's the shrapnel coming from? Is it coming from heaven? I don't think so. So we need somebody to straighten. I have a lot of respect for the FBI, but the FBI's respect has gone way down over the last number of years.
Don't you have to fire him in order to make room for Cash Patel if he is, in fact, confirmed?
Well, I mean, it would sort of seem pretty obvious that if Cash gets in, he's going to be taking somebody's place, right? And somebody is the man that you're talking about.
I have to say, putting Kristen Walker as whatever she calls that act she does all throughout the interview. President Trump was fantastic.
He was.
In this interview. He was calm, cool, collected, as he always does, can work through whatever the subject matter is seamlessly in and out of all these subject matters. Absolutely put her in her place in the nicest way he could at the times he needed to. Fought through the continuous trying to just re-ask the same question to try to get to the needling part of whatever her question was. Got around that. I thought he was, again, I don't know why he gives these people his time. He sat for 93 minutes with her. They aired 36 minutes of it, and then gave the rest of the hour to the absolute lunatic panel that they had there of Jen Psaki and some other just nut jobs. Sat there and told us about it was painful to watch. But
I still don't know why he doesn't have his own crew there, filming the crew.
I think he does.
And pumped out the whole 90 minutes.
Well, they put the whole 90 minutes on Meet the Press's website, unedited.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They put the whole thing out there, which is what I watched, and that's why I say he was good in the 36 with the broadcast too, but it was a little, they put the confrontational stuff. But in some of the most important stuff they didn't even use. But I thought the president was, you could just tell. He was not combative with her. He didn't try to be combative with her where he could have. He could have certainly made that a lot more combative in places and would have been right to do so.
Yeah, but she's kind of stupid, and
he
kind of lets her, show her stupidity and then corrects the record.
Yeah, but I attributed a lot more to his. Again, we keep saying this time's going to be different. going in. Everything's going to be different. They're just way smarter this time. They just know where all the snakes are, where all the bodies lie. They know what they want to do. Things are looking very good for all of his nominees at this point. Pete Hegseth has had a very good couple days, a lot of support from the president, from the vice president. And now Joni Ernst has been listening to MAGA and listening to conservative media and said, well, maybe this is not the fight I want to pick, which once again shows our voices are heard. They need to be loud. We need to be involved in the primaries. And she got the message because she's seemingly now a big yes vote throughout this nomination.
Yeah, according to the New York Times, this just came out. Feeling the political retribution pressure, Joni Ernst is facing re-election in 2026. Appears less skeptical.
Yeah, damn right.
Of Pete Hegseth, and now is confirming she will probably vote.
That's damn right she will.
Yep.
As they all
get in line.
Good job, people.
The president gets the cabinet he wants. And if it doesn't work out, he'll be the first to get rid of somebody. You don't have to worry about that, unlike this guy, who fires nobody. All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all emergency personnel, everybody that keeps the country moving, all our truckers, all our farmers. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron Fran, great job, as always. Slick, we're thinking about you. We love you. We'll be with you this week. And the rest of you, we'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow night, live from Studio 6B, 8 o'clock.